Hello everybody, and welcome to another video here at PC Tech and Gaming. My name is Kyle, and today, if you didn't already guess by the thumbnail and the description of the video, today we are finally unboxing the GeForce RTX 2080 Ti. In this particular case, the Galax version of the RTX 2080 Ti. And this particular card is going into our new editing / gaming rig that I'm currently in the process of making, so get subscribed if you want to see the video on that one. It'll be coming out very soon, not long after this particular video I'd imagine, or they might be out around about the same time. At any rate, like and subscribe to see more content like this. So anyway, down to the task at hand. Here is our Galax GeForce RTX 2080 Ti. I've been looking forward to unboxing this for a while now. I've seen it, it's been sitting on my shelf for a couple of weeks. I haven't had the pleasure of unboxing one of these yet in the past, but yeah, today's the day. So here we have our Galaxy RTX 2080 Ti. It's not the most expensive or premium 2080 Ti's on the market, but it is a 2080 Ti, so it does come with all the frame rate goodness that you do get with having one of these cards, because they are obscenely powerful. But about to be kind of outclassed by Ampere coming out later in the year, but at any rate, it's still a lot of performance for what it is. So anyway, so that's the front of the box, and then we have the back of the box, which it's got some fairly standard information about proprietary Galaxy software and about the card overall. On the top of the box we have a pretty simple graphic. On the bottom of the box we have the features. And those features are real-time ray tracing, NVIDIA GeForce Experience, NVIDIA Ancel, NVIDIA Highlights, NVIDIA G-Sync compatible, game-ready drivers, DirectX 12 API, Vulkan, OpenGL 4 and 5, HDCP 2.2, NVIDIA GPU Boost, NVIDIA NVLink SLI, and it's VR ready, of course. The minimum system requirements for this card are as follows. It needs a PCI Express compliant motherboard with one dual width X16 graphics slot. So by dual width they mean that it's going to take up the X16 slot and the adjacent slot next to it. But most modern cases and motherboards are pretty well set up for that arrangement these days anyway. It has a minimum of a 650 watt power supply. I'm putting this in our new editing system that will have an 850 watt power supply, so we're going to have plenty enough juice to power this thing. And just the rest of the minimum requirements are fairly self-explanatory. 1.5 gig available hard drive space, 8 gig of system RAM, Windows 10, 2 8-pin supplementary PCIe connectors on the power supply. So those are the two power plugs that you plug into the card itself. Most power supplies these days will give you 2 8-pin ones by default. Some power supplies will even give you 4 8-pin ones by default if you want to run 2 of these guys. But yeah, that seems a little bit over the top. That seems a little bit over the top if you ask me. Anyway, so that's the bottom of the card. The sides are pretty self-explanatory. As you can see, the seal is not broken, so this is a true unboxing, not an unboxing after unboxing. And this other side, see the seal is there. And yeah, this card has 11 gigabytes of GDDR6 RAM. It also, yeah, I already mentioned all this other stuff, ray tracing, DirectX 12, Ancel. Yep. And it's also advertising on the front of the box as well, One Click OC, which is Galax's proprietary overclocking software where you can apparently use one click and overclock it. So anyway, without further ado, we'll get into opening the box now that we've gone through all the pleasantries. So now we'll grab my trusty little friend here and we'll break the seal. Yep. Oh, it's a little bit A little bit tough there, I might do it from this angle. There we go. Just needed a proper line on it. So there we go, we're opening it from the right hand side. I'm a right hander, so it probably defaulted to me doing that way. Here we go. So here we go. Here is the card coming out of the box. And there we go. Put that off to the side. And then we have it. GeForce RTX. It's pretty nifty. Pretty standard black box. Nothing to write home about. And now we will open the said black box. And we open it, and we're greeted with a foam covering. So we'll take said foam covering off. And here we go, we have a Galax setup guide, easy steps for quick installation. So we get that laying right on top. Of course, I won't need to use this as I've installed countless graphics cards in my life and they're all pretty easy to install. We also have two dongles here. So this is to get an 8-pin PCIe connection off two Molex connectors. Although mind you, these days, yeah, unless you're using an extremely old power supply, I find it very, like, the use case for one of these days is quickly declining, as most power supplies are well equipped to handle such a card, as long as they're about, of course, 650 watt and over. Otherwise, using implements like that may be applicable, but even then you're kind of running close to the borderline there of yeah, you don't really have the proper power supply to run the card. So anyway, so that's the box there in all its glory. So now we're going to take out the card itself. And there's nothing under the box, as you can see. It's all pretty empty, so pretty basic packaging overall. But this is a more budget orientated GeForce RTX 2080 Ti, if you can say that, because they are not the cheapest cards going around. But here in Australia, this Galax version of the card was, on average, it was about, probably about $700 to $800 cheaper. That's $700 to $800 Australian dollars cheaper than, say, the Asus ROG Strix model. So I saved a bucket load of money by going for the no frills, you know, cheaper end of the scale RTX 2080 Ti, which I don't have a problem with. I find those, you know, those hyped up cards, they do come with all the nice features and the beefy as cooler, and they run cool, and they boost higher for longer and all the rest of it, so you do genuinely get more performance out of them. But is it really worth the sometimes insane cost for one of those incredibly over-engineered cards? Sometimes I think not, and I'm happy just to get the base card as it was intended, and this is what we have here today. So here is our Galaxy RTX 2080 Ti. And there's the back of it. And the front of it again. And yeah, as you can see, it's a 3-slot cooler design. That was the minimum requirement I had personally in buying this card. I wanted it to be a minimum of a 3-slot cooler, so the one-fan blower designs were completely out of the question, as I know how horribly hot they run, and And yeah, I was just not entertaining the thought of getting one of those cards. But yes, so this was the cheapest 3-slot no frills variant I could get on the market. So now we'll open the card up. I'm doing the little caution sticker. There we go. We'll get this guy out and show you guys the card in all its glory. Nope. And here we go. Let me turn it around. And here we have our Galax RTX 2080 Ti. Of course, it's got its peel on the front there, which I will remove when I install it in the system just before I'm about to turn it on. So that's the front of the card. The top of the card, as you'll see, has the two... Let me just rest the card there a bit. As you can see on the top of the card, we have the two 8-pin power connectors. These both need to be plugged in for the card to be able to run at full power. I think there might be like a little alarm signal or something that beeps when you don't plug them in. Or at least that was the case with the the GeForce 8 series cards when these power connectors were first introduced. Well, not first introduced, but I think introduced in this sort of fashion where it's 6-pin or 8-pin. And of course we have our NVLink connector on top here, so this is if you want to connect two of these guys up in SLI, which would absolutely be insane performance. It's so insane, I'm not sure how you would use it. You would need, I think even a 4K monitor would soak up that performance pretty darn well. As in, you know, you're going to get massively high frames even at 4K. So as we go to the back of the card now, you'll see here that we have our back plate, which is nice to see. It makes the card feel very, very rigid, and it's got some rigidity to it, as well as I think helping with the cooling as well. Although in saying that, now I can't see any thermal pads down through the center here, although yes, there is a couple of thermal pads in between the back plate and the circuit board, so it is being used as a way to transfer heat away. I think it looks like it's transferring it away from the GPU core and maybe some memory down towards the bottom of the card about here. But of course, any bit of cooling is always good. It has a nice black PCB, which is nice to see. I think pretty much all graphics cards and motherboards these days, unless you're buying super cheap, have black PCBs. And of course, down the bottom we have our PCI Express X16 connector. I believe these cards run PCIe Gen 3. I think the newer Ampere RTX cards coming out later in the year will run Gen 4, but obviously not confirmed yet. And obviously the bottom of the card is pretty self-explanatory. On the end of the card we have our I/O. So we have 3 DisplayPort and 1 HDMI. I'm not 100% sure which DisplayPort version it is, but I'm pretty sure it's the latest. And yeah, 1 lone HDMI port, and of course the vent for the heat to emanate out of the card. And then from the other side, we have, yeah, the end of the card. Pretty explanatory. So there we go. There is our Galax RTX 2080 Ti in all its glory. So yeah, it's pretty impressive. I'm pretty happy to be holding it right now, I gotta say. My first time unboxing such a beast. And yeah, you'll see me installing this card in our editing computer that's currently being built in that video, so stay tuned to see that one. And yeah, as to some benchmarks on exactly how it performs, I'll also do a video in the future showing the performance of this card, so stay tuned for that as well. But yeah, there it is. There's our Galax RTX 2080 Ti. So I think we'll leave the video here now, and I'm going to get on to installing this into the computer as I have pretty much finished building the editing PC. And this is the only component which is yet to be situated on the board, and in the case / build. So I'm pretty keen to get it in there and fire up the system for the first time. Yeah, so thanks so much for watching. It's really appreciated. Thanks to all who have subscribed and liked the video so far. It really means a lot. Before you go, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel if you like this content and would like to see some more of it in the future. Enough yabbering from me, and thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.